Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Sunday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, 7:30 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. As you can see, I'm in the middle of my workout here. This is an unusual second video today. And I was motivated to do this after the last video I just made. I just did a video talking about Marjorie Taylor Greene and her blatantly dishonest statements about what Volodymyr Zelensky said. That's just the very last video. And like I said in that video, I was looking over some of the speeches from the CPAC convention that's just ending today, I believe, in Washington, D.C. And I started to come across more and more ridiculous, false narratives, dishonest statements from Republicans, from the far right. And this is going to be I don't know what to call this video. It's my opinion. There's about 20 different stories that I came across just this morning. And I'm going to talk about a little bit. I don't know if I'll be able to find all the links down below, but these are just some of the, I was just amazed at what's going on the right. It doesn't seem like people are concerned about climate change or even the economy. On the right, it just seems to be these fear-mongering, false narratives about Volodymyr Zelensky and Russia and fentanyl. And okay, here's the one I really want to talk about. First of all, Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis. I'm going to have a link for this one right down below, where this is just blatant fear-mongering, where he says that they are chopping off the private parts of young people. And he stated this. I started looking up some of this stuff, and I'm kind of hesitant to talk about this because I don't have kids, and I don't know anybody personally that's gone through gender dysphoria or gender reassignment or anything like that. But I looked it up. I looked up some basic facts, and this is just false. It's false. From what I could find, there was an example of 2, maybe 3 incidents where there was somebody under 18. One person was 15 and one person, I believe, was 17. And I'll have the links down below because I don't know how in detail I can get right here. But what Ron DeSantis is saying is blatantly false. This isn't happening. I saw another piece of legislation from a Republican lawmaker that wants to ban the Democratic Party from Florida. I'll see if I can find this link down below. It's a true story. Google it yourself. Banning the Democratic Party. So I started thinking about this, So there's all these other parties. There's the Nazi Party, Devil Worshipper Party, Green Party, but out of all these all exist because it's a democracy. People can vote for whatever they want to vote for. But they actually have legislation to outlaw the Democrat Party in Florida because it's woke. This whole ridiculous war on wokeness. Okay, so this is an idea. It's a real thing. The legislation is something like this. It took some bizarre thinking to come up with this. The idea is that they want to outlaw any political party that ever supported slavery or anything like that. And if going back into the 1840s, this is hard to get into. The parties were more or less reversed. There was what they call the Dixiecrats, and that group, those Democrats, have more or less are what Republicans are today. But back then they were called Democrats, and it's not the Democrat Party today. And so this legislation would outlaw any political party that has ever had anything to do with slavery. And so it's really just a false, tricky way to try to outlaw your political opponent. When I saw this, I was freaked out this morning. Like I said, they want to take away the choice to even vote for the other side. How much more anti-democratic can you get? And this is the stuff that scares me across the country. Legislation. They're proposing legislation to jail doctors that have anything to do with helping kids, because kids that have gender dysphoria are much more prone to, they're even prone to mutilating themselves and if they can't get reassignment, gender reassignment, to depression, suicide, stuff like that. And they're talking about jailing doctors that have any that even provide any kind of counseling to kids, jailing librarians, jailing teachers, doctors, teachers. It's the insanity. The whole thing with fentanyl and that false narrative. If you take the time to look any of this up, you'll see that this is just fear. This is just blatant fear mongering. Drugs come into this country through planes, boats, large shipments, usually through designated ports that already exist, hidden compartments in cars and trucks, not through immigrants coming through the desert. You know, it drives me crazy when I hear this kind of thing. It just blaming them. And like I've said before, you've got to talk about treatment. Where there's a demand, there's always going to be a supply. But I'll see if I'm going to find these two articles, the links to these. I know this isn't the usual kind of video, but I was just amazed. Then Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about a national divorce between the blue states and the red states. And here's the funny thing about that. All the red states have more people on welfare, more people on a SNAP program, lower education, lower income, they're generally worse all the way around. And Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to divorce the two states, which would be beneficial to the blue states. But we're talking about this is dividing up the country. And another article talking about Mississippi and electric cars. They want to. They're making legislation so there's no electric car. There's electric car dealerships and plants that want to build in Mississippi, but the politicians in Mississippi are making laws against doing that. So they're banning businesses that would actually help with jobs and money coming into the state because they don't like electric cars. Well, the whole rest of the world is moving that way anyway. Seriously, these are the stories that I have found this week. It makes me wonder. I don't see this on the left. I want to do a video talking about which one is more dishonest. Fox News or CNN. I know they're both biased, but is one more dishonest? That's going to be one of the next videos I do. I'm sorry if this was just all jumbled, but all these stories were building up. I'm going to try to have most of the links down below. I didn't make any of this up. These are real stories. From outlawing the Democratic Party to Mississippi, outlawing electric cars. So businesses don't move to Mississippi, and it's just going to hurt the residents of Mississippi, the lowest, with the most poverty in the whole United States, the state with the most poverty, and they're actually just shooting themselves in the foot. What do they say? Cutting off your nose to spite your face. And people wonder why I'm a liberal Democrat. All right. Sorry if this was a little disjointed. You guys, I'll try to get all the links together down below. You guys have a good Sunday.